Some questions I've gathered for you are, do you know what a credit card is? Do you know what one looks like? Do you know what a credit card does or how to use one? Have you ever heard of the slang term charge it or cash or credit? I can safely assume that you've answered yes to all these questions. By answering yes to all these questions, you can already see how globalized credit cards are. Credit cards are considered to be very much of nothing according to Ritzer's spectrum. Credit cards are globalized and can make everyday life a bit easier. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's find out what globalization is. It is said that the meaning is still debated, but generally the term means the increase in a global movement of ideas, culture, commodities and resources, money, and people. So by knowing what globalization means, we can conclude that credit cards are globalized because they are a spread of idea, and that money can be put on a piece of plastic and you can use it wherever and whenever you want, any place and any time. According to Ritzer, a nothing, which is what a credit card is defined as a social form that is generally centrally conceived, controlled, and comparatively devoid of distinct substantive content. We could start off by saying that anybody can basically receive a credit card. Credit cards are controlled by very large corporations, some of which you may know American corporations, such as Chase, MasterCard, and Visa. Every nothing started out as a something, but then it became a nothing by virtue of sheer global expansion. Credit cards were invented in the 1950s by a little corporation known as the Diners Club. The credit cards were given to traveling businessmen to use at stores and businesses. This was just an easier way for the corporation to pay for things and not have to worry about reimbursing the businessmen for the things that they bought. Now to look at the utilities. Non-place. Credit card companies are non-place because they are time-free and you have no underlying connection or meaning to that company and you don't personally know them. Non-thing, credit cards are generic and mass-produced. Non-people, because you don't have a relationship with whomever gives you the credit card or who is okaying your transactions. It's all done by computers. It's a non-service because nobody is specifically tending to you, and there is an automatic transaction of money that you have nothing to do with but swiping your card. Ritzer has 5 dimensions of nothing. Ritzer has 5 dimensions of nothing. We have complexity, spatiality, temporal, human, and magical. The first dimension I'd like to cover is complexity. Credit cards are nothing in the complexity dimension because they are generic and they have different types of credit cards that all essentially do the same thing. They all look the same, maybe have different numbers and different names on them, but they essentially do the same thing. In the spatial dimension, there are a lack of ties in the spatial dimension because you can't place exactly where the money is going to or coming from. In the temporal dimension, credit cards are time-free. They're not specific to times, and you never get the sense that they'll stop working. They're timeless. Credit cards are very dehumanizing and impersonal because you don't think of anyone as having to check the computers because it's all a computer transaction. If something goes wrong, you call. Guess who answers? A machine. And then you talk to the machine and you have to press buttons according to what type of problem you're having. And if you're having a really big one, maybe you'll get a person. And even then, it's a short, impersonal conversation. And that is related to Ritzer's human dimension. Lastly, there is a magical dimension, which states that a nothing is disenchanting. There is no special or magical thing about a credit card, because you do it so many times a week, you don't even realize it anymore, and it doesn't give you a unique, special, magical feeling inside. That's why the magical dimension credit cards are considered a nothing. According to Globalization and McDonald's, there are 5 spectrums on this one too. There is efficiency, calculability, predictability, control through non-human technology, and dehumanization. Credit cards are efficient and well organized. You get a predictable calculated bill or statement every couple months. Credit cards are controlled through non-human technology, which is very dehumanizing and impersonal. Credit cards are very Americanized. They started off in America in the 1950s, and the highest population to use credit cards would be probably American people. American credit cards are accepted in many other countries. Credit cards are accepted in more than 200 countries worldwide, and have more than 24 million locations that you can use them at. So this is just an example of how easy it is to use a credit card.
Ready, go.
Hi, I'm Janelle Kalick, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to use a credit card. And it asks to swipe your card.
And recommends the types of plants that are best suited for local gardeners like you. Certain kinds of plants are considered invasive. Invasive plants grow rapidly, causing major changes to the areas where
And that's it.